Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Media Boat Podcast, your weekly rundown where we talk about movies, TV, music, and video games, not necessarily in that order. My name is Mike. With me is Labubu Matt.
Well, I am not Labubu Matt. This is Labubu. I believe his name is Love. He's upside down because he's hooked to my mic. I thought he would be in picture and he's not.
Yes, the
I
lovely
know.
Labubu. I think it's love because just
Don't
pink,
ask me
right?
how this happened. Huh?
I'm not going to ask you how it happened because we have a lot to talk about.
It's true. My name is Matt. His name is Mike. Thank you for joining us on the Media Boat podcast. Like you said, we have quite a few things to get to. Most notably is that massive Nintendo Direct, that meteoric explosion of Nintendo news that we have to get to a little later in the show. But first, before we do that,
Yes, it's episode 504, 505. It's September the 16th, and we're going to jump right into this with the music section. Start the music section with the Billboard. Start the Billboard with the Hot 100. And the hottest song in the land is Still Keeping Us Safe from Demons, Golden by Huntrix. Various artists. At two, Ordinary by Alex Warren. At three, Modern Child by Sabrina Carpenter. Coming in at four, Your Idol by Sasha Boys and AI. And rounding out your top five, Soda Pop by Sasha Boys and AI.
what do you mean and AI?
Oh, did you not see this? There's an article out that Soda Pop, the Sasha Boys songs, were written with the help of AI.
Oh, I had not seen this.
I mean, apparently it works because they're supposed to be soulless written
Yeah,
songs
I
for
guess
just
that's
like consumption.
thematically appropriate.
Yes. As for your albums chart, your Billboard 200, at number one is K-pop Demon Hunters, the soundtrack by Media Book favorite various artists. This does mean coming in at two is Man's Best Friend by Sabrina Carpenter.
Yes.
At three, The Problem himself, Morgan Wallen. Coming in at four, Swag by Justin Bieber. And rounding your top five, You'll Be All Right, Kid by Alex Warren.
Yeah, not much really to talk about this week, except notable that the K-pop Demon Hunter soundtrack finally hit number one on the Billboard 200. It had yet to do so. I also want to mention you might want to get closer to your mic. You're coming in extremely low.
Ooh, I'm coming in low. That's
I had to
weird.
turn you up a whole lot to hear you.
All right. Well, maybe I'll just talk louder as we get into new releases. Starting with Season of the Peach by Black Lips. Am I the drama?
Mhm.
Well, if you have to ask, the answer is yes, by Cardi B.
Yeah.
I'm only fucking myself by Lola Young.
What do you think she means there? Do you think she's only like, is this a
Like,
verb
is this
or
the
is it
verb fucking or is this the adjective
emphasis?
fucking?
Or is this emphasis? Like, I am only myself, but she really means it.
I think it's a double meaning, but she is really just putting it out there.
Yeah.
And when it fails, the only person she's hurting is herself.
Hmm. 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 Anyway.
We also have The Same Old Wasted Wonderful World by Motion City Soundtrack. There's Dance Called Memory by Nation of Language. Better Broken by Sarah McLachlan. Yes, that's Sarah McLachlan. Unearthed, Whole Earth Unplugged by Toro y Moi. And lastly, Leads by Wednesday.
Hmm.
Not that
Hmm.
Wednesday.
No, unrelated to the television show.
All right, let's get into some music news. And I had a bombshell drop last night. In literally the middle of the night, out of nowhere, came the rushing herds of the desert, came the blowing winds of a golden voice,
Mhm.
came the announcement months in the waiting.
Mm.
For years and years,
All right. Get
teenagers have waited for the drop of the half century, half decade, whatever year we're in.
something like that.
Coachella lineup
Yeah.
has been announced.
Really
And
early this
headlining,
year.
is it early?
No, yes. They used to wait until January of the calendar year to announce Coachella lineups. Last year's was early, and that was November. This is the earliest by far that they've ever dropped the lineup.
See, I don't feel that way because they always announce the Coachella lineup before they announce the Stagecoach lineup, and
Yeah.
Stagecoach lineup is always in October.
No,
Yeah.
I don't think so. Maybe in recent years. But anyway.
But anyways, we know who will be headlining the Desert Valley Arts and Music Festival. None other than Swag himself, Justin Bieber.
Yep.
Also headlining is none other than man's best friend, herself, Sabrina Carpenter.
Mhm.
And also headlining is, in no relation to Kenny, Carol G.
Yes.
And Enima
Yeah.
are also slated to headline as well at Coachella 2026, taking place on April 10th through the 12th, and then again the following weekend, April 17th through the 19th, in Indio, California. All of the headliners have graced the Coachella stage in the past, with Sabrina Carpenter performing at last year's festival, while Carol G brought out Becky G and J Balvin during her 2022 appearance. And famously, Justin Bieber has popped up as a guest at 4 separate Coachellas. Enima, who made a special guest appearance earlier this year during Yeat's set and performed in 2024, is slated for a slimmer slot to last year's Travis Scott performance, which was billed as a quote, designs the desert experience. Anima, the multimedia project from Matteo Milleri, recently became the first electronic artist to stage a residency at Las Vegas's Sphere, which he followed with the release of his album, The End of Genesis. Additional performers include, but not beholden to, Disclosure, Cat's Eye, Ethel Kane, The Cross Cross, The Strokes, Addison Ray, Young Thug, Twigs, Clips, Somber, David Byrne, Interpol, not that Interpol, Lafay, Cascade, Wet Leg, Iggy Pop, Major Lazer, Green Velvet, Pink Pantheress, Moby, still bald Moby, Central C, Lucky Lee, Royal Otis, Boys Noise, DeVito, Duke Dumont, Armin Van Buren, Unalive Tendencies, Giveon, Labyrinth, Dijon, Groove Armada, Lil Sims, The Rapture, Aklu, Roykstop, and many more, including
Yes.
one you have not listed here, a Radiohead experience.
Yeah, unclear what that means. Like, are they going to be there? Probably
No,
not.
I saw was reading up on it. There was a Radiohead experience like art exhibit in London
Oh,
of
this
the
is that
same
thing.
name.
Oh, right. And they put out a video, like a video game version of this, right? Where like an interactive VR thing, I
Yes,
think. Yeah, okay, that's what this is. Okay, got it.
yes, not
Neat.
Radiohead is very at the bottom in real fine print, but not
Yeah,
actual Radiohead. It's
right.
their like 20th anniversary collab album that they did
Okay,
a couple years ago.
cool. Yeah, overall, not really much to talk about, thankfully, about this Coachella lineup. It is pretty much kind of boring and expected. Those are the
Yeah,
names you
but
expect to see at the top there, I
yeah, but
think.
this does bring out a good question. One, is Justin Bieber healthy enough to tour again?
I guess so.
And two, is he the legacy act in this trio?
I hate to say it, but kind of not. And the reason why I say kind of a yes no answer to your question here is yeah, has his peak probably passed? Probably. I think we can safely say that. However, this swag record is kind of interesting enough to keep people like into the idea of Justin Bieber as a modern contemporary artist. He also just put out a sequel album to that thing. And he surprise dropped it last weekend. From what I can tell, it is not as good. But at least he's trying to keep his name out there and trying at least some new things. It's apparently like a different kind of vibe for him. And so that might be the perfect timing for him to do a festival set like this, a more vibey kind of
Mhm.
smoking weed on the grass situation, as opposed to like old Justin Bieber, like big pop spectacle. You know, maybe trying for a different kind of thing.
Yeah. Also,
So,
that can work reverse too, where you're smoking grass on the weed.
hey, you do you. Whenever you
Snoop
figure
Dogg
out
does
what you
do
want to do
him.
with your song.
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't really have much else to say about the rest of this poster. It's pretty much the people who you'd expect. I think it's interesting that there's some like older legacy bands like Interpol, Moby question mark, the Strokes showing up again and being lower on the poster. They were a headliner once upon a time, people. Uh,
Well, see, that's what I mean. Like
yeah,
two
how time
weeks in a
changes.
row now, or 2 years in a row, we've had a headliner drop and being replaced.
Yeah.
I don't see that happening here, but they're usually replaced with a legacy act. Like we had No Doubt a couple of years ago. We had Blink-182 last year. Green Day was like 2 years ago. Green Day was last year. So I was like, where are those acts? Or is Justin Bieber filling up that void? Or is Sabrina Carpenter filling up that void? Because Man Child is hot on the charts. All right. Did you happen to listen and finish Play by Ed Sheeran?
No. Not a chance.
Okay. I tried to listen to it. I got a
Okay.
couple songs in,
Couldn't do
and
it.
Ed Sheeran took a weird turn for me that I wasn't expecting.
Hmm.
It started sounding
Hmm.
like Imagine Dragons
Oh no.
with
That's not.
like fast talk rap like they do, and I was thrown for a loop. I immediately stopped it. I was like, this is not what I was expecting. It
Hmm.
was way
Hmm.
out there, and I don't know if I'm going to go back to it. Not the vibe I was expecting from him, but I don't know. I didn't listen to the full album, but what I did listen to, did not enjoy.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't heard anybody talking about this thing that really must say a lot about its quality and its relevance. Yeah, no, it's interesting that you said Imagine Dragons because I did have that thought because the singles so far for this record have not been very Ed Sheeran-y to me. They've been sounding a little different, so it's not surprising to me that that is the case for the whole record.
Who knows? I mean, arena album band for arena album, not artists, but we'll see.
Yeah, it's a weird choice.
We'll see if
Very
people
strange.
stop or play.
Yeah, makes you think.
All right, then. Let's move on then into video games where we talk
Let's.
new releases, including this. I think this is an old release. No, I'm thinking of a different one. Class of Heroes 3, remaster for the PC and PS5. Dying Light, the Beast for the PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X. Formula Legends for everything, wide release. You got it, you can play it. Also wide release, Platypus Reclayed, wide release. We also have Frostpunk 2 for the PS5 and Xbox Series X. Deep Rock Galactic, Survivor for the PC and Xbox Series X. Endless Legend 2 for the PC. And lastly, an Assassin's Creed game. Kind of. Assassin's Creed Shadows, Claws of Awaji for the PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X. All right.
Ooh.
Get comfy because we got to talk about the hour-long
Yes.
and overly stuffed Nintendo Direct. All right.
Yep.
So where do we
Yep.
want to
Pull
start?
up a
With the
recap.
Should we start with the 40th anniversary of Mario and everything they announced there?
Yeah. Yeah, let's go through those really quickly. Basically, it was top loaded with info, more basic info about what they're doing for the 40th. Like they're doing some things with the what do you call it? The Kyoto Museum, the Nintendo Museum, is having special Mario exhibit there. They announced details about the upcoming sequel to the Super Mario Brothers movie, which will not be Super Mario Brothers World as we thought it was, and instead be a Super Mario Brothers Galaxy film. So this will incorporate a lot of the plot points and characters from the Galaxy games for the Wii. So yes, we will see big screen Rosalina. People are probably very excited about that. I'm sure, I guess. Those games do have more story than your average Mario games, so I guess that makes them a little easier to adapt. And at least it's not as problematic potentially as the Mario Sunshine story. I don't need to think about Bowser telling baby Bowser that Peach is his mother. Just too much baggage there. So yeah, I think it's an interesting choice, and sure, there'll be Yoshi in it, I
Uh,
guess.
yeah, I was kind of hoping they'd go Super Mario Brothers World, but then they just, skip right ahead to Galaxy because it is the best selling game on Wii, and you got to get those tickets in and expand your universe. Does make me kind of think, hey, maybe they're jumping the gun a little bit here, a little too quickly. But,
Yeah,
such is money.
such as money.
Yep. But that movie's coming out next year still, uh, for I think it's 2026 release date.
Yep. Than that, the other Mario happy birthday news were a bunch of new Mario titles, like the never before announced Mario Tennis sequel, Mario Tennis
Fever.
Fever is the name of that one. That's right.
Yes.
Yeah, which looks like a little bit more of a return to form than the Switch One Mario Tennis game, Mario Tennis Aces. Uh,
Aces.
Fever looks like it's back to kind of more fun first as opposed to technique first, which was really what turned me off of Aces. Emphasis on mini games, and emphasis on even a single player mode with a storyline, which is something that Camelot, the co-developer of the series, really excels in, or has excelled in the past. And so, yeah, I'm looking forward to that as a potential kind of for apology almost for Aces not being, I think, what people wanted.
Yeah, I mean, I remember playing through Aces, having fun time, but I think it was just slow unlocking everyone. Uh, and then Mario Tennis Fever announced that it'll even have an even bigger roster. So kind of not looking forward to that, but at least Fever has a actual story mode attached to it. So that could be fun. And also baby mode.
And baby mode, exactly.
Yep. Let's see here. They also announced that Super Mario Brothers Wonder will be coming to the Switch too, with an additional DLC, the Belle Belle Park. And to cap it off, I don't remember if you said this or not, but Mario Galaxy and Mario Galaxy 2 coming to the Switch as well. And all that within the next year, by spring 2026. So like a lot of these announcements too, were not like far off in advance. They're like within the next 6 months, it felt like.
That's true. Yeah.
All
So
right.
things are happening. All right.
Let's
What else Mario of note do we have on that list?
That's all I have for Mario proper.
Yep. Oh, Super Mario Brothers Wonder is getting DLC.
Yeah, Bella Bell
Yep.
Park.
Yes.
All right, let's see here. We also have, for those who are in the world, Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave. That'll be coming next year to the Switch.
Yeah, that was their big one last thing debut at the end.
Hmm.
From people who know more about Fire Emblem than I do, it is connected in sort of way to the Fire Emblem Three Houses game for the original Switch. Has shares some at least a character from that universe, so that's interesting. Yeah, good for Fire Emblem fans.
Yep. Now to the other big release announcement, Metroid Prime 4. Well, we finally got a date, December 4th for Prime 4.
Yes.
And we got new amiibos, one including a motorcycle, Metroid Metroidcycle.
Yeah, interesting for a Metroid game. I wouldn't jump to any conclusions, though. I don't think this means that all of a sudden this is an open world game. Nah, this is probably just for action sequences where you want to look cool on a mic on a bike. Um,
Hmm.
but
Yeah, I
yeah,
mean, it did say that would be explorable on the bike, but maybe in certain areas, much like when God of War like says it's open world. There's just several like open areas. Um, I don't think you're going full open world like Mario Odyssey.
yeah, no, no, definitely not. But the rest of that game looks pretty solid. Looks like Metroid Prime. The December release date is unfortunate in a lot of ways because it does catch it in that no man's land for Game of the Year discussions. Like, I think most
Hmm.
people would say that this makes it ineligible for this year's Game Awards because it releases just about a week before those usually take place. So I think there's a worry there. Um, then to maybe like that maybe it won't get the flowers it
Yeah,
maybe
but
will
are they
deserve.
really that concerned about
No, it's
winning the Game
Nintendo, it's
Awards?
Metroid. Yeah, they know people are gonna love it no matter what they do. Yeah, I'm a little on the fence after that footage. A lot of people are saying it looked amazing. To me, it looks like Metroid Prime and fantastic and so different to those games. And so we're not, but I don't know. It could be great. It could be another stellar Nintendo game, and I'm really excited for the people who are thrilled about it.
Yep. Not one of them personally.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, we also, I mean, even though like I love Metroid Dread, uh, I don't know, like I think that might have just been a one-off for me to enjoy. There's also a couple Pokemon new Wikipedia where you play as a Ditto person and like water your garden and plants and stuff. It looks. I thought this was like a looked weird, looked interesting. And then of course the announcement they couldn't keep well hidden uh, about the new Mega Evolutions, and then about the DLC for Mega Evolutions. And now people are up in arms about not wanting to purchase Pokemon Legends ZA because of all of the different ways you're going to have to pay to
I
get the
mean,
full
that seems to
experience of
be
this
the
game.
aftermath of to cost. This was a recurring theme. And I think, yeah, as people get a little bit more price sensitive, the amount that Nintendo specifically is charging for these things does feel a little nickel and dimey, more so than it used to. You didn't used to hear about DLC for a video game that hadn't even been released yet. And now it seems like it's becoming the norm for Nintendo. And having to spend up to $90 for the entire package here does seem a little much. So yeah, it kind of takes a little bit of the excitement away from a lot of this direct when you think about the aftermath, which has really been a conversation about price. And yeah, I think you're right. We don't really know a whole lot about what this is, except for access to those particular mega evolutions. I have to say, they did my boy Raichu really good. He does look really cool, but is that worth it? Like, and we have to continue to ask ourselves, and people who own Switch 2s have to continue asking themselves, do I really need to spend money on every single one of these small little things?
I do like that they're going back to the concept of a split Mega Evolution of an X version and a Y version
Yeah,
because it feels like only Charizard got the big buff from it for the X and Y version. And then
it's
everyone
cool.
just
Yeah,
gravitated to the X version and ignored the Y version.
yeah. It tends to happen with Pokemon games. One type is usually more beloved, or not type. One version. Yeah, this is one of the things I really like about returning to the X and Y era is because there was a lot of unique things about Mega Evolutions and how they worked, and this is one of them. But yeah, ZA remains to look like a very cool game that I will never touch, and I'm very happy for people who will love it.
I would say I look forward to picking it up when the price drops, but it will never drop.
No, it's a Nintendo game. Of course it won't.
Exactly. All right. Anything else of note here, like worthy that we need to talk about?
I'm looking here.
Mentioned the Yoshi game, right?
Yeah, the Yoshi game. We need to talk about a couple of things, which is one of them is Pokopia, which is a new Pokemon game that got announced. That is co-developed by Koei Tecmo and is apparently a like light building sim of sorts, like light crafting.
Minecraft-esque.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a
You're a
crafting game.
ditto person-esque person.
But here's the thing, it's very interesting to me that you forgot about this one or didn't think it was notable because I actually think that this is going to be the biggest game on this list. Because you're combining Pokemon with a genre of game that has never been bigger. Like people, have, soft spots for the Dragon Quest Builders games that have been on the Switch. Those are really popular and really sell really well with a certain audience. But if you put it on an IP that more people care about, like Pokemon onto that label, this thing is going to sell like hotcakes. I think it's a brilliant idea to have like a Ditto be the star of it. I think it's neat that it can communicate with the other Pokemon. I like that you're using Pokemon moves, like in universe stuff, and you're ultimately building what kind of looks like a route from one of the games. It's really cool, like Pokemon Center, like little things to jump over, tall grass where Pokemon live. I think that this is going to be a hit. It looks like a perfect synthesis of so many things that are really, really big right now.
I mean, we'll see. It may not be big on my list, but like you said, it could be big in the zeitgeist that it does come out, especially except builder games. They're
Yeah,
popular.
yeah, true.
Pokemon, it's popular. Why
All
don't
right.
these two things make money?
Yeah. All right, I'm going to do a lightning round of the rest of the notable things. First
Okay.
off, Virtual Boy, which is coming
Yes.
to the Nintendo Classics, which is formerly known as Nintendo Switch Online. Nintendo Classics, you can only play the Virtual Boy games. However, if you buy their Virtual Boy peripherals, there's two options. There's the big plastic thing that emulates the actual build of a Virtual Boy that you place your Switch 2 into.
Mhm.
That is $100, which is a lot of money, but people will buy it. And then a cardboard version of the same idea that has the red foil in a cardboard slip for your Nintendo Switch 2. And that is 30, I want to say, 20 or 30. So Labo is back, people. We're building cardboard things for your Switch again. So yeah, that's interesting. It'll bring a lot of games that nobody has played because the Virtual Boy didn't sell anything to the Switch, which is an interesting idea. It's just again really expensive to access. Other things on this list, Resident Evil Requiem is coming to the Switch too, which is notable because that means a day and date too, which is interesting because we had not previously heard that that game was going to be a Switch release. And alongside it will be the last couple of Resident Evil games, Biohazard and Village. Those will be bundled at some later date. We also saw more footage of Tomodachi Life Living the Dream, which had been announced as a Switch 1 game last year in a direct, or earlier this year in a direct, I want to say. And yeah, that looks goofy and weird and cool. We got a release date for the console version, specifically the Switch version of Hades 2. It will
Mhm.
be out of early access and released on Switch and Switch 2 in September, like literally a week from now. So get ready, folks. Hades 2 is already coming. I'm sure we'll hear about PC and other consoles very soon.
Are
So
they
yeah,
not releasing that all over the place at the same time?
no, Switch has a special exclusivity window. They
Hmm.
announced this a handful of months ago. The Switch and Switch 2 versions will release ahead of the other versions of this game. So even though I paid money for the early access PC version, I don't get it until like I don't get the final 1.0 of Hades 2 until the PC release is formally released. So everybody's going to play it on Switch first.
A good reason to charge up my Switch then.
Exactly. They announced some amiibos for Kirby Air Riders, and Metroid Prime 4. They announced a remake of Dragon Quest 7 with redone graphics. Um, yeah, that's pretty much it. So yeah, just wanted to mention those little bits that I thought that were interesting. Oh yeah, the DLC from Donkey Kong Bonanza as well, which includes like a roguelite treasure gathering mode, which actually seemed pretty cool. But yeah, that was the Nintendo Direct.
Yeah, a little bit for everything. I think that
Mhm.
Virtual Boy came out of nowhere, but also kind of was expected at some point.
Yeah.
Uh, but it's Nintendo stuff. I don't think there's anything that got me to be like, I need to buy this now.
Hmm.
Especially get a Switch 2 now. Even the Pokemon stuff in ZA Legends, the announcement of the extra DLC kind of made me say, okay, maybe I don't need the Switch 2 this holiday season. Um, I'm
Not
sure there
yet.
will be a game eventually that comes that says, okay, you got to get the Switch 2 for it, but I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
All right.
All right, well that's it for the Nintendo Direct then.
Well, we got to talk about some video games.
Yes, we do.
All right. I'll go first because it's a demo. Demo is out. Demo we can play.
Okay.
Demo I'm excited about, and I've seen people uh, kind of abuse the system of it. Digimon Story Time Strangers game I'm looking forward to coming out on October 4th or October 3rd, that week, first week of October. It's the sequel to Digimon. It continues the Digimon story narrative from Cyber Sleuth and Hacker's Memory.
Hmm.
And you get to play the first, basically, opening prologue section of it. And then after you beat that, it sets you about halfway through the game so you can explore what it feels like in the Digimon village.
Okay.
If if you beat the first part, you can carry that save over. I've seen people completely abuse the system and try and unlock every and all Digimon they could probably get through
Yeah.
it by grinding. And I'm
Yeah.
like, you could do that, or you could just wait and just pick them up as you could normally. Because having played the other games, you could just eventually get to the end and be like, oh, I just switch them out, load them up, and not having to worry about grinding for 5 hours to get everyone. Unnecessary grind.
Yeah.
That being
Mhm.
said, I like what this is doing. I like where it's going. I like the mystery of the narrative. I like that it does have open-endedness for additional DLC. They One of the pre-purchase bundles, the deluxe version, says that there are additional chapters coming, and I think I've played enough to where I might just jump for that because there's
Mhm.
enough in here to where not only do I want to play it, I want to beat it, but I want to make sure I get all the Digimon, and I want to see what other Digimon get added later as well. And there does seem to be a very underlining of the Olympus 12 Digimon, which are Greek mythology based, and that's right
Okay.
up my
Yeah.
alley.
Right.
So I think this is something again that I'm definitely gonna pre-order probably the deluxe version and
Wow.
getting
Okay.
happy for it. Because I did try and search for the collector's edition, which comes with the statue, but you can only get it on the Bandai the Namco Bandai website, and of course it's sold out.
Of course. Yeah. You were just too slow for it.
Well, yeah, I was about 3 months too slow.
That'll happen. Okay. Cool.
But you played a game.
Well, I've tried.
Oh no.
Yeah, I'll get there. So I have had quite a up and down roller coaster experience with last week's new release, Borderlands 4, and not in the way that you might think. I've had kind of a little bit of a love-hate relationship with the Borderlands series. I loved, capital L, loved Borderlands 1. It was one of my favorite games of all time. I played that thing to death. I played every single DLC. I played you name it. Like I own that game in three different like formats. Like I love that game so much. When 2 came out, people lauded it with praise. I was a little cooler on it. I thought it was good. I thought, but I didn't think it was great. And I just thought the guns felt better in 1. But I still played a lot of 2. Played a lot of that co-op as well. And pretty much saw everything that game had to offer as well. Then three happened. And three, well, initially I kind of gave it a little bit of the benefit of the doubt. It still did a lot of the Borderlands things I wanted it to do. It had an excruciatingly annoying story with really awful characters. And I felt the difficulty was all over the map. I did end up finishing that game, but I didn't play any of the DLC because by the time I was done with that thing, I mean, you will recall this because we were playing it at the same time. I was just like, you know what? I don't think I need to play this again. Like, I think I've played this to death. I am okay with leaving this thing on the table forever. It just was not a great Borderlands experience. So, when reviews started hitting for four, and people were talking about it as a return to form, as it was doing some interesting things with the franchise, that it was experimenting a little bit, that it was that had a better story with better writing and less annoying characters. I was like, okay, you're speaking my language. A Borderlands game that feels more like two. I'll take it. Like it's not one, but I'll take it. I will give it a shot. So I ponied up the $70 on Epic Game Store and got the PC version. And if you're at home right now, you might be groaning when I say that, because if you've been following the news this week, that's the version that you probably shouldn't have bought. Console players have been having a blast, but over here in PC world, it is problem after problem after problem. Some people are getting performance issues with 4K setups on graphics cards that should not be having problems with 4K setups, like 5090s, brand new top of the line NVIDIA cards. They're saying they're not being able to run it on the top settings. They're getting resolution problems. They're having to rely on frame gen to get 60 frames, which is not what we were promised with these cards. Um, and all the way to the worst of the worst, which is some people saying that it's crashing so often they can't even play it. Some reporting like, oh, I'll hit a menu and I'll go in to change one thing in my inventory and it will lock up. It'll crash to desktop. Or my shaders will load in and then it'll crash right after the shaders load in and give me some sort of error message about the shader cache being full or something. It's gotten so bad that Gearbox has had to tackle it. There is now an official site on their website that basically gives you a bunch of troubleshooting tips if you're having problems with the PC version. And when people complain to head honcho of Gearbox, Randy Pitchford, famous for speaking his mind on the internet, if you don't know, decided to say some things that maybe were a little unfair, as basically referring to his game as a top of the line technical piece that is not designed for computers that are older than 2 or 3 years. Of course, gleefully ignoring the fact that most people who are complaining are people who bought a brand new graphics card. So where does that leave me? You're probably asking. Well, day one, I had a great experience with this game. I was able to play 8 straight hours of this thing. It did not crash once. It ran well. I have a 4090 for reference, not a 5090, but I'm doing okay. I was able to play it on my 1440p monitor just fine. It ran okay. I mean, there was a couple sputtering spots when things got like really hectic, but hey, so is Donkey Kong Bonanza. So, games. That's just video games now in 2025. So I will accept a little jank to be able to play it. And I had a really good time with it. It is what people are saying it is. It is a Borderlands game that does feel a little bit closer to two. If you like the feel of two, if you like how those guns felt, if you like that level design, it is very much more like that. Three got very linear with some of its level design. Four feels extremely open because it is this time. You are not going from beacon to beacon, going to separate locations. You are just exploring a big open world, which does offer a different kind of feel. And yeah, I really, really is. I really was enjoying the game for what it was. Um, Keyword was. NVIDIA dropped new drivers, and I don't know if this is why I've been having this problem, but ever since then, I have joined the Crash Club. I cannot play this game for longer than about, well, it gets to the title screen. And I have two choices. Basically, I can either go straight into um, the game and roll the dice and see how long it'll let me play it. Or I can go into the graphic settings and try to make very quick selections before it locks up to see if that fixes it. Either way, it is not a fun experience because either way, I am not playing Borderlands 4. Am I? I'm not. So I've tried both. I've tried a lot of the tips on their troubleshooting guide. I installed a BIOS update. This is how deep in this rabbit hole I am because I was trying to figure out whether it was my computer or it was the game. I'm pretty much narrowed down with the tests that I've done that this is the game. This is not the computer. I don't know when a patch will hit. They've already patched the game twice since release, and neither have fixed my issue. Some people are saying to roll back the NVIDIA driver. I guess I can try that next. But then, of course, because it's the internet, people argue about whether you can do that by just doing it the way that NVIDIA provides you, like uninstalling and reinstalling the old driver, or to download something called a driver disposal unit that apparently takes every part of the old driver out, so that way you're doing a clean install of the new one. It's an absolute nightmare. People should not have to do this to play a video game that they spent $70 on. So I'm kind of in this spot right now where I have two options. One, I just cross my fingers that they release a patch that fixes this business, or maybe I do some research and see how long the window is on the Epic Game Store to do a refund and just get myself the PS5 version and start over. That's where I'm at. I've never refunded a video game before, but this might be what makes me do it. It is one of the most miserable experiences I've had with a game that I was enjoying playing for a full day that will not let me play it anymore. It's absurd.
It sounds like you finally come to the realization that being a PC player is not at all as hyped up as it is, and that maybe just getting the console version is the better experience. But yes, to your point, Randy Pitchfork coming out here and saying, if you think you can do better, build me a better engine.
Right, which is insane, which is an insane thing to ask somebody. I'm sorry. That's an insane thing to say.
Yeah. I
Like
mean,
it,
it's a great way to be like just like attacking your fan base that is there to
yeah,
buy your game.
it's just, and also it ignores the problem, right? It is not an Unreal 5 problem because yes, I know that people have had problem with Unreal Engine 5 in other games before. I see people talking about other UE5 games having similar situations at launch. That Chronos game from Bloober Team has been noted. The Gears of War re-release has been noted. That's recent. So a lot of other UE5 games have had issues this year. On top of that, there's also, concerns with Intel chips from the 13th and 14th generation. The CPUs were known to have issues. I checked mine, though. Mine's not one of them, thank God. So that's another layer to this. Like, there were probably people with CPU issues that were running into bottlenecks. But the thing is, again, it goes back to what I said before. We should not have to be doing all of this. Like, as people who bought your video game, we expect a certain level of compatibility for a video game that we buy. And you can't expect us to buy a new computer just for your fancy game, Randy. Like, that's impossible. We're not, like, money is not coming out of our ears. We can't just grab a brand new top of the line machine, especially when that's not even guaranteed to run your video game. So I'm really hoping they're taking this seriously and really making a patch that fixes these things because it's absolutely insane.
All I'm hearing right now is that if you want to put out a game to make sure it runs on a driver, you should design said driver. Because Randy, it's not that hard. Just design a driver. You should do it. And then sell said driver with your game. So we install the driver, then you have the game on there. And it works because you put a driver into the computer specifically designed to run your game.
A fun irony about some of this is that some people got Borderlands 4 for free in a bundle with their new graphics card. Hmm, real smart marketing move there, dude.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. After this podcast, I might do some research and see if I can still get it refunded because at this point, that might be the remove because Borderlands is a pretty good couch game and maybe am better off just laying back and playing it that way.
It is called couch co-op for a reason and not uh couch computer for a reason.
Yes. So I will report back next week when I have an update for everybody about where I'm at with my Borderlands 4 nightmare.
All right. Well, I was going to purchase Borderlands 4. I wait for the reviews. Like you said,
Yes.
there are good reviews. They are positive. If you can play it, because I also saw a lot of that it was crashing and bugging. Even in like some of the reviewers, like limited play and limited server space, that it was still crashing and bugging. So maybe I'll wait to see what other DLCs come with this, but not a game
Mm,
I'm picking up because, like I said, I
yes.
think I'm
I
putting
would
that instead towards Digimon Time Strangers.
I would also hold off until the stuff gets resolved. This is a lighter version, but this is very reminiscent of the Cyberpunk 2077
Mhm.
situation. But hopefully it won't get as bad as that did.
Hopefully. All right. Let's move on then into the television section. We start with
Yes.
the sports corner. Hey, do you like the Masters?
No.
Well, if you like the Masters of golf specifically, this spring, 2026, you can now watch even more coverage as Amazon Prime Video is joining ESPN, CBS, and Paramount Plus as broadcast partners, airing 2 additional hours of coverage from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. during the first and second rounds. So, if come April you happen to have surgery for a specific reason that you scheduled months out in advance, and you want to sit on the couch and just watch golf, well, there's 27 total hours of broadcast coverage waiting for you, a 50% increase from 2024.
Wow, that's a lot of golf.
Some say it's too much golf.
I would
Those
also
people are
say that.
wrong, but you know, to each their own. No new words on that Kawhi Leonard update story, unless you want to count Pablo Torres and Mark Cuban going at it over Twitter, just back and forth about like, show your proof. I have my proof. Show your sources. I don't have to reveal my sources. It's hilarious back and forth.
Fun.
But yeah, hopefully the NBA and Commissioner Adam Silver will get a handle on that before the season starts
Hopefully.
next month.
Yeah.
Still going on is MLB. And we have 2 teams that clinched playoff spots this past week. The Philadelphia Phillies have clinched their division. Meanwhile, the Brewers have not officially clinched the division, but have earned themselves a playoff spot officially.
Yep. Makes
Also,
sense.
mathematically eliminated are the Twins, the Pirates, the Nationals, and the
Don't say
Angels.
it. We already know. We knew 3 months ago. It's fine. Whatever.
Yes, but now it's mathematically official.
In fact, right now, to add insult to injury, as I speak, the Brewers are already 1 run over the Angels. So, yeah, this is how this season is going to go. However, in this household, we are very happy about a Brewers run. So, yeah, we're crossing our fingers and hope they make it all the way to the series.
Yep, house divided right now for you.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But, it is what it is. Um, I know that the Phillies are always a great playoff team. We can push something out.
We'll see what happens as other teams start to clinch those up in the
No.
coming weeks.
Also notable, I want to mention that as of I think still as of right now, the Mariners hopped over the Astros and are at the top of the AL West. So that may be the finally happen for the Mariners. Finally clinch that spot, that sacred top spot from the Astros.
They can finally raise a banner.
Maybe so. What a concept, right? It's been so long.
Big dumper.
It'd be great if they get there and not have to rely on a wild card spot in order to get
Yes.
their footing, because I think they deserve it.
I mean, you think so, playing against the Trastros, but we'll see what happens. All right. other than that, yeah, football's still happening. Week 2 is happening. People got injured. Joe Burrow is dead again, I guess. I don't know.
Who knows?
He's out for 3 months, which
Ugh.
puts it into December, which means the earliest he can come back is like December, January, if they're even going to make the playoff by that point. But yeah, Joe Burrow is like done for, toasted, blah, blah, blah.
Hmm.
All right. That's it for sports. So let's get into the talk of the town,
Yes, if
the
the town is
toast of the
Tinseltown.
champagne,
Yeah, exactly.
the
Because
studio that won it all.
right, exactly. Because for once, the Media Boat podcast is on the beating heart of the media industry, as we always are, and we called it. We said the studio was one of the most like exciting, funniest comedies we've seen in years. And guess what? The Television Academy agreed with us because it had a record-setting night at the Emmy Awards last Sunday, picking up 4 more awards on top of all the ones they already won in the creative arts. Outstanding Comedy Series, Lead Comedy Actor for Seth Rogen, Comedy Directing, and Comedy Writing, taking home a total of 13 Emmys over the 2 weeks. Meanwhile, The Penguin earned the second most Emmys, winning 1 at the primetime ceremony for lead actress Kristen Milotti and 8 at the Creative Arts Emmys for a total of 9. Adolescence, Severance, and SNL 50 The Anniversary Special all took home 8 awards each. The Pit, a Mike favorite, won 5 Emmys, including Best Supporting Actress in Drama, Lead Actor in Drama, and of course, the big prize at the end of the night, Best Drama Series. The Late Show with Stephen Colbert scored its first ever win in the Outstanding Talk Series category, fresh off the news that that show would be ending in 2026. They also allowed Stephen Colbert to open the show to a standing ovation, which I'm sure was well deserved. Obviously, the people in that room really care about his plight, and for good reason. Um, Overall, it was an interesting Emmys. I'd say that it wasn't the most surprising show. It was pretty predictable for me personally. I think doing this show gives us kind of a view into what the trends are and more or less what we thought happened would happen. It happened, and yeah, that was the case. The Pit and the Studio are the 2 most exciting shows of the year, and they got their due, which is good. They should because they are both high quality versions of the thing that they're doing. And also, it's cool to see television underdogs, if you can say that. Seth Rogen and Noah Wyle getting their due as well. Noah Wyle notably nominated for Emmys for his work on the ER, but never won. So finally hoisting the Emmy trophy this time felt like a full circle moment, which was nice.
Yeah, I mean, I've been saying it since January. The Pit is the best thing on TV, and it was great to be proven right
Yeah,
come any time. Good to see Noah Wiley
yeah,
win, and yeah, just season 2 around the corner. It's coming in
yeah,
January.
yeah,
The studio marks a new trend that's going back. Comedy awards going back to Apple
yeah.
TV Plus since Ted Lasso won it. Because then it
Right.
went to The Pit or The Bear, and then it went to Hacks, and now it's back with the studio.
Yeah.
But
Um.
yeah, both those shows were also nominated. Both those shows also lost now
Yeah.
to the studio.
So yeah. Yeah. Pretty good show. I will note one thing though. It definitely seemed that the production itself and the things that were said at the production were very much at odds with each other. You saw CBS's fingerprints in all of the decisions made that they could make. You saw a milk toast host with Nate Bargatze, who was just okay. I thought the running gag with the charity money for the Boys and Girls Club was a dud on impact and never
Mhm.
got funnier and kind of was just there. I thought the musical stuff was weirdly placed. You sent me a very funny text that was, "Hey, it's the CMAs," because it definitely felt like the CMAs. When you drag out Vince Gill, who looks older than ever, you're definitely CBS trying to get a very specific audience to pay attention. and it just felt completely out of place with a lot of the messages that we were actually receiving. I mentioned the Stephen Colbert getting a standing ovation thing because it felt very much at odds with the network that it was on. Because it felt like an entire room giving the middle finger to the very station that was airing it. Which good because they deserve to have a middle finger flown at them at the moment. CBS seems like they are courting the wrong demographic in a lot of ways and ignoring people who, I don't know, like television. Makes you think. But yeah, I think people who won and the speeches that were given showed a drastic contrast to the show that I think CBS wanted to put on the air, which was an
Yeah,
interesting thing to watch.
especially the winners from both Severance and Adolescence, the two
Yeah,
main actors for Adolescence, as well as it picking up the best limited series.
yeah,
Well deserved as well. But yeah, I think overall, these three shows are definitely on my top five come the end of the year.
yeah.
Uh, we'll see where we are. I mean, we're only like 3 months out, but I think I have like a good setting of like what's going to be there. I say that now, knowing that sure enough, I believe culinary food wars culinary class is still coming for season 2 next
Okay.
month.
Well, there you go. All right. Well, that's pretty much all I have to say about that. So,
Yep. I mean, that's all we have here. Yep. It's just the Emmys. They
yeah,
happened,
they happened.
and we're back again for next year.
Cool. All right, let's move on then. Did we have any television we want to talk
I mean, we
about?
talked about the Emmys.
Right,
Uh,
that's pretty much it.
one thing I will talk about, but also not talk about, Futurama, new season up
Right.
on Hulu. Yeah, you can
Yes.
watch it on Disney Plus as well.
A
You
whole
have that with
season this
Hulu.
time. They binge released it.
Yes, they did. And I am binge watching it. Also, at the very front, as they do their title cards, it says "Go at your own pace"
Yeah.
because they know they're binge dropping it. Always funny, always mathematical, kind of highbrow comedy, as well as the lowbrow cartoon comedy that it's
Yeah.
known for.
It's what you expect, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Cool. I'll just say I'm still in process right now. We're trying to work through both Pokemon Concierge. We have one more episode. And long story short, we have like three more episodes. So yeah, we're cooking on those. Maybe we'll be done by next week. Maybe I can talk about them then. Yeah.
All right.
Oh, Great British Bake Off started. We've been watching a couple weeks of that as well. So if you're a Bake Off head like we are, check that out on Netflix. Okay,
Then I
cool.
think Alice in Borderlands season 3 comes out this weekend on
Yeah.
Friday, so I may be checking that out as well.
Unrelated to Borderlands 4.
Correct.
All right, let's move on then into cancellations and renewals.
What am I no longer watching?
No cancellations this week, but we do have some renewals to talk about. First up, Prime Video is bringing back Overcompensating to overcompensate for a second season. Berlin ER is getting a second season on Apple TV Plus, unrelated to the ER we were just talking about. Foundation will get a fourth season on Apple TV Plus. The Hunting Wives will get a second season on Netflix. That seems to be the one of the most talked about shows of late. I hadn't heard of it. Christy had to explain what it was, but yeah, that's out there. All right, then we had one death this week, but who boy, it is a rough one for Hollywood. A legend of Hollywood was lost this week with Robert Redford, a man so important to independent cinema that he practically invented it, or at least helped mainstream it in a way that it hadn't been before. But of course, he was also an actor uh, in classics such as Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, All the President's Men, The Natural, and Decent Proposal, even Avengers Endgame. He was also a director. He directed A River Runs Through It and Ordinary People and The Legend of Bagger Vance, speaking of way too much golf. We've also had, of course, what I was referring to. He founded Sundance, people. He was the one who decided that a festival that brought independent filmmakers together was a good idea. He financed it early on himself and made it happen because he believed in that concept so much. And of course, Sundance led to kind of a different new Hollywood era that brought in a lot of smaller names to become the names they are now. A lot of very big filmmakers made their first breaks by debuting films at those early years at Sundance, and yeah, arguably Robert Redford's impact on that is one of the pieces of modern cinema and why it exists in the way it does now.
Recent Academy Award winner superstar Sean Baker owes a huge
Yes,
debt of gratitude to
absolutely.
Sundance.
So does, big names like Steven Soderbergh and Paul Thomas Anderson. And we could just keep going. Honestly, there's so many. But yeah, definitely a legend. Definitely will be missed.
Yep. He did win the Oscar for directing and picture for Ordinary People.
Yep.
91, I want to say that was.
There you go.
But yeah,
Right.
fun fact, Avengers Endgame was his final film on his resume. He
Right.
had to come back to reprise a role from Captain America Winter Soldier that he was in.
Right. Right. That's what
So
it was.
officially his last movie credit.
Got it. All right. Well, speaking of movies, let's move on to our last segment of the show, which is the movie segment.
We
Yeah, I
failed.
know. Start hiding your face because we were
We
wrong
failed so
again.
bad.
We were really wrong. But the thing about the box office, and I've used this metaphor before, it's like baseball. You think you have on paper, you think you know what people like how something's going to go. You think that everybody knows what the rules are, and you think that the game is going to go as planned. The better team is going to win. But if you watch enough baseball, you slowly realize that is not how baseball works. It's a fluky game, and sometimes things just happen. And this is one of those weeks in the box office where things just happen. We underestimated the popularity of the anime Demon Slayer to the tune of $70 million. dollars.
To be fair, the last time Demon Slayer was number one at the box office, it made $40 million.
Which would have been in our ballpark. But we still chose the wrong movie, so it doesn't
Yes.
matter. We were wrong all over the place. But yes, your number one movie this week was Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba Infinity Castle is its full title, which made $70 million dollars in the US box office this week, which is wild. Number two, The Conjuring Last Rites made 25 million. That's at 130. Downton Abbey, the grand finale, is your number three, debuting this week at $18 million. Still not that much to sneeze about. Definitely probably was your other option, I think, when you were going into a theater this week. Say, mom's like, yeah, maybe I don't want to see either of those movies. I'm going to go over here. Number four, The Long Walk, made $11 million in its first week. And rounding out your top five, a re-release of Toy Story charted, making $3.4 million. Sure, why
Yeah.
not? But if
30th
you're
anniversary?
wondering, 30th anniversary, yes, you're correct. And then way down at number nine, your other big release this week, Spinal Tap 2, The End Continues, only made $1.6 million in its first weekend. I'm a little of two minds about this. One, it's kind of sad that we now have back-to-back kind of disappointing box office comedies between this and The Naked Gun. Um, but this is probably a kind of movie that's really going to excel on streaming, and I would expect this to be a bigger streaming hit when it hits that very soon.
I mean, Spinal Tap on its own release was not that big at the box
Right.
office and only made
Yeah.
popular through VHS
Yeah,
rentals.
home releases. So yeah, I imagine this is going to be how this one goes too, and I probably don't think they're too disappointed, like you said, following a cult classic with another cult movie, essentially.
Mhm.
All right, so yes, we talked about how we lost, but let's try it again, shall we, with another Mr. Talk About. What's going on with him?
He is a football player
Okay,
and he wants to be the football player. This
okay.
comes from Monkey Paw Studios, Jordan Peele Studios. He's producing it, not
This is a
directing it.
Jordan Peele thing. Okay, I wasn't
Yes,
sure.
but in production only. He is not
Right.
directing it.
Okay.
But yeah, it's a interesting, gory take on what it means to be the best in, well, in sports, but this is specifically in football. It sounds interesting to me. I'm interested in kind of like all the visual like motifs going through it, especially in the trailers. I don't know if I'm like ready to jump in and like go and see it in the theater, but it is something that I am keeping my eye on how well it does at the box office.
Yeah, we'll see. We also got A Big, Bold, Beautiful Journey, which I've seen the
Colin
trailers
Farrell
for.
and Margot Robbie.
Yes, Colin Farrell, Margot Robbie in a magic door takes you to the past movie, which seems strange, but
It's
sure.
surreal, but yeah.
Yeah, a little bit. And then lastly, the senior. What's going on with the senior?
This is from Angel Productions. These are the people who do like all those religious movies. Uh,
Oh, sure.
this is about an old 40-something-year-old man who did not graduate high school, so technically he can play his senior year
Wow, that sounds
based
ludicrous,
off a
but
true
sure.
story, I think.
Question mark? All
Yes.
right. Okay, well, this is the cards we were dealt. We gotta choose a number one. Does At this point, does Demon Slayer just roll over?
I don't think Demon Slayer does. I'm gonna go with him. You wanna go with Demon Slayer?
No, I'll go with him. I'll go with him. Why not? And I guess it's my turn to come up with a number out of thin air here.
Yeah.
It's not, I don't think him is going to make $70 million. Should we go back down to 40? Are we comfortable with that number?
I'm comfortable with around 30.
30? Okay, 30 then. That feels right.
Just based off everything else, because I don't think Demon Slayer is coming in for a second week in a row.
No, I don't think you're right. However, I will safely take the over on that because I want to say that Jordan Peele name recognition will do something. Also, I have seen, actual ads for him, like at bus stops and stuff in town. So there might be at least enough recognition there that I could see it tick just above the 30 mark.
They do love putting Jordan Peele's name everywhere on
Yes,
that.
as they should.
All right, 30 it is.
Cool. All right. So as you write that down, I will continue on our list here, which is, of course, some movie news. But there's so much news, we gathered it up in a big pile of bits for you this week. And our
The
first
bits,
bit,
the bits, the
yes,
bits.
the bits. Our first bit is a follow-up bit. We talked a lot about the upcoming re-election of SAG-AFTRA, how they were going to have a new leader after new president after Fran Drescher would step down. That has happened, and Sean Astin indeed has been elected your new president of SAG-AFTRA. So congratulations to Mr. Astin.
Yay.
We more or
I'm
less
sure he
called
was the
that.
easy name recognition on the ballot.
Yes. Yeah, he was the guy that you would know on that ballot, and I'm sure most people voted for him that way. Not to say that he's probably not, a good man for the job. I trust him. Sure.
Well,
Why
his
not?
mom was the former
Yeah,
SAG-AFTRA president in the 80s as well.
there you go. And he'll follow you to Mordor, so I trust him.
No, he will not follow you. He will carry you.
Oh yeah, that too. I got the meme wrong. Sorry.
Yes.
Not a big Lord of the Rings head. We already mentioned Super Mario Galaxy movie, but since this is the movie section, I will repeat. That's going to be next year. So keep your eyes peeled for that. Francis Lawrence is set to base the upcoming BioShock movie on the first game, says news that came out this week. Confirms most of the suspicion that most people probably assumed because that first game is the iconic one that people think of. And trying to adapt BioShock Infinite seems like a nightmare. So, yes, one is the game you adapt. And so, yeah, I'm at least curious to see what a BioShock movie looks like.
Right, but people were worried that they were going to adapt the first game because syringes and needles and underwater elements.
Yeah,
Also,
it's cool.
Ayn Rand's popular right now.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, God. I don't even think about that. Let's move on. Okay, what the okay, okay, that's the next one. I don't have to read that yet. I don't know what I'm gonna have to read there. But first, unfortunately, we got bad news about Henry Cavill. He was injured during training for the upcoming Highlander movie, so that production has been pushed to 2026. We wish Henry Cavill a recovery, I
And
guess.
hopefully he doesn't get replaced in this because then we know there'll only be one Highlander.
Yeah, there can only be the one. So yeah,
Yes.
they have to figure it out. All right. Um, Something called the Pout Pout Fish or the Pout Pout Fish, the Poo Poo Fish.
Would you like to explain this?
Please do. What is the
All right.
Poo 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 Pout Pout Fish?
Deep in the waters where the fish
Uh-huh.
hang out lives a
Yes.
gloomy swimmer with an ever-present pout.
Okay, so it is Pout Pout Fish. Is this a
The pout pout fish with the pout pout face. I make deliveries all over the place. Blah blah blah. It's a children's
okay?
book.
I was gonna say, is this a thing that you know about because you have a child?
Yes,
Okay. I'll ask Christy about this when she gets home. I'm sure she's heard of the Pout Pout Fish. But yes, Pout Pout Fish starring Nick Offerman will be released next March in 2026. A film adaptation of, I guess, a children's book. So look forward to that. Is Nick Offerman the Pout Pout Fish? Is he
he
the
is
voice?
indeed the
Okay.
voice of a pout pout fish.
A Pout Pout Fish. I thought it was the Pout Pout. Like, is there only one or are there multiple?
Well, you have to read the book to find out.
I'm not going to do that, but thank you for
Okay,
the
you have to watch the
suggestion.
movie to find out.
Right. I'm also probably not going to do that. I'll just ask Christy. She'll tell
Also,
me.
there's a disclaimer in the front of every book. Please
Uh,
do not kiss random people
that is a really good lesson, I think, to learn. Why does the Pout Pout Fish kiss random people in the book?
and gets kissed. Yes,
Oh, okay. Oh, because he's pouting, I guess.
yes, until he gets
Okay.
kissed. But then he's not a pout pout fish.
Okay.
He's a kiss kiss fish with a kiss kiss face. He makes kisses all over the place. Switch switch here, switch switch there. Kiss kiss switch 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 switch.
Um, this is hellish. I don't like this at all. Let's move on before this continues.
I'm excited for it.
I, it appears that way. All right. Next bit. Zootopia 2, a going concern. It still will come out later this year and has added to its voice cast. We have Andy Samberg, Macaulay Culkin, Brenda Song. Wow, both of them. They got the couple. And David Strathern
Draythorn.
will be added to the voice cast there. But yeah, a 2-for-1 deal with Macaulay Culkin and Brenda Song.
Yes, can't wait to see what bickering couple they are.
Yes, exactly. And of course, you add Andy Samberg to any cast. I'm gonna be down with that idea. I
Yes,
wasn't super excited about a sequel to Zootopia, but that might be at least enough to for me to check it out. All right. But then our last bit is one that is truly chilling. But we have to talk about it
we have
because
to
it
talk about
is
it. It's
the
not
big news this
official
week.
news. It's not
No, it's
official
not
news.
official. God, no. However, in this current climate, it is far more likely that this happens than it doesn't, which is literally a terrifying sentence to say. Because Paramount Skydance, the recently merged studio that just happened,
That has not gone through FTC approval yet.
right, has not actually been approved by the government, has already set their sights on expanding further and has prepared a Ellison backed bid. So there's money here to snatch up Warner Brothers Discovery.
This
You're
would
probably
be a
thinking,
cash bid too.
yes, you're probably thinking if you watch the show or if you just are up on this kind of business news, but wait a minute. Isn't Warner Brothers Discovery in the process of splitting into two companies? So what does this mean? Is this just one of those companies or is it the whole enchilada? And you can correct me if I'm wrong, but my understanding is they want all of it. They want every part.
Yes, the reason they split Warner Brothers Discovery split into two companies is
Yeah.
to have a TV division and
Hmm.
a movie division. Basically, what makes us money and what we're crumbling in debt
Right.
in order to be more appealing for buyers. But you have to
Well,
be
it
that
worked.
appealing if you know
Yeah.
you're going to sell it to someone. And
Yeah.
when David Zaslav came in here, we all sounded the alarms that something
Yes.
like this was going to happen.
Well,
Actually,
because,
we thought it was going to go the other way. Warner Bros. Was going to buy Paramount
right.
first,
But it didn't
and
happen
then
that way.
Skydance came in and purchased it.
Yeah.
And now I guess they're going to purchase Warner Bros. Discovery.
Yeah. Honestly, if you look back, this all makes sense now. It makes sense why Zaslav doesn't seem like he was interested in actually making quality things because he was never interested in making quality things. He wanted to flip it. He always wanted to flip it. This was a repo job. This was literally you're buying something that nobody cared about, or at least fewer people cared about, in order to retrofit it to make it the optimum amount of money for you, and then try to get it bought by stripping it for parts. And that's exactly what they've done, step by step. They don't care that we don't have that. Basically, Cartoon Network is just a shell of itself lying empty on the street. No, he doesn't care. He doesn't care that an entire Looney Tunes movie was almost completely lost to time, because he just didn't care about it. Like, no, none of that mattered because he was constantly looking at how he could make this company lucrative for a company like this to come in and spend cash on
An entire Batwoman film will never
it.
see the light of day because
Yes,
of this.
it's absolutely embarrassing. Um, and to make matters worse, we've talked about recently how Paramount Skydance is becoming a terrifyingly conservative company that is already making scary moves to kowtow to the current administration. So to then combine themselves with yet another big piece of the American media landscape is to then further consolidate our media into a division that will actively ignore an entire, let's say, the majority of the population of this country. It's going to be more stuff that makes more concessions, that will make more stuff that will not include people of color, will not include stories about LGBTQ people, will demonize trans people, and news like programs that will completely like throw these cultures under the bus in order to make more shows like fucking Yellowstone, more award shows hosted by Nate Bargatze, and more stuff that nobody likes just for the demographic that they care about.
So,
Get
how
ready,
long
folks.
until they purchase the Trinity Broadcasting Network and save My Pillow Mike from his pending
Mm-hmm.
lawsuit?
Oh, you're already there. You're already a few months ahead of time. I'm sure that something like that will probably happen because that's exactly the kind of guy that they're going to want to come in to their stuff because seems like this is the direction where this is all going. It's exhausting. Doing this, it's never been the happiest stuff, but I feel like doing this podcast has gotten now to the point where every week we're doing a story like this. Like, what happened? We used to have fun here. I'm not saying that we
Yeah,
still don't, but it's getting scary. I don't know,
yeah.
man. I
You
don't know.
know, the good and bad of saying it's a business.
It's a business,
But
but
at the
it's
same
a
time, it doesn't
cutthroat.
feel like a business when it feels like it's a forced move,
Yes.
a forced
Yes.
pivot.
It feels so forced. It feels so obvious. It feels so cartoonish. It feels like cartoon villains now are running amok. It's not
Well,
just
good
the
thing
realm of
Warner Bros. Discovery
comics.
isn't having cartoon villains anymore because they got rid of all of them.
Yeah, because they're real now is the thing. That's the thing is that
Yes.
they all took notes, turns out, from Lex Luthor and company, and not what not to do, but apparently what to do, because it's just feeling like villainy more and more as we go on.
Oh, no, they took what not to do. What not to do because what they did got them in trouble with uh Superman. What they
Yeah,
did in the cartoon ended up not working. So they took notes saying, okay, well, won't do that. We'll just do this instead.
yeah. Who knows what the thought process is, or if there even was a thought process. But regardless, it's scary. I hope it
Money
doesn't
dollars go
happen.
up. That's your thought process. Stock
Yeah,
market goes up.
it's depressing, and I really, 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 really sincerely hope this does not happen because it we will be living in somehow an even worse world if this does come to pass.
If it does come to pass, are we looking at, I don't know, Disney buying everything
Oh
again?
God, no, we can't keep consolidating. This is the thing. It can't keep going like this. We can't
I know.
have
Which one's the
one
lesser of the two
company.
evils?
I don't know because I don't trust Disney anymore either. Like this is the thing.
Yeah,
All these companies have so much money riding on on this administration backing them that they're going to bow to their desires every step of the way.
it's
It's
how
not going to
Disney bought
end.
20th Century Fox in the first place. Lest we forget, that happened in 2019. And
a
who
long
was
time
president
ago.
during that time? Oh
Yes.
no!
Yeah. Yeah, it's just gonna keep going like this. So yeah. Anyway, I don't want to talk about it anymore. I don't want to talk about it anymore. So let's
Hey, you know who
wrap this
wouldn't do
podcast
this?
up. Who would?
Seth Rogen in the studio. He wouldn't let this happen.
Yeah, I did think it was really a funny tongue-in-cheek moment where they decided to thank the executives
Yes.
at the end of their speech there. It's fitting for the moment, I think. Anyways, let's wrap this up. This has been the Media Boat Podcast. That's it for the show today. We will be back next week. In the meantime, though, if you want to catch us all sorts of places, we're everywhere on the internet. You just got to look for us. Our videos go on our YouTube channel, which you can find by searching YouTube for Media Boat Podcast. You can find this show as well as an archive of our older shows there. Click the bell, likes, get notifications. I don't know, whatever you want to do to find out more about us and get alerted when new episodes are up. You can also find us in audio form if you'd rather that by looking at podcast services and putting in Media Boat Podcast there. You can also find us on the internet, mediaboatpodcast.com. We're also on Blue Sky. Just search Media Boat Podcast there. And twitch.tv/mediaboat is where you can find Mike play video games every once in a while. You've been popping in and out of there for a couple weeks here.
Yep. Like I said, been streaming some Digimon Time Stranger. I'll go back to some Everybody's Golf while I wait for Digimon Time Stranger to appear in a couple weeks here.
Cool. That'll be good. And then last but definitely not least, if you have questions, comments, feedback about the show, anything you want to let us know that we will read on the show, you can email us at mediaboatpodcast@gmail.com. All right, that's it. We'll be back next week for more. Till then,
Yep.
keep sailing. I don't know.
More
Is that what we say?
news, more thoughts, and more of us.
Yes.
Okay,
Bye.
bye.